Hello everyone, my name is Elisa with 8 E's, and today I'm going to be showing you a first-person perspective that I spliced in with APM just to show how I like to play in 1v1. And this is just a casual game against my friend Broken Rhythm. He wasn't playing very seriously this game, so don't expect any epic games or in-depth strategy. But yeah, so in the beginning, I do this kind of spamming, and if I find that if I don't do the spamming, it makes it harder for me to pick up my speed later on. So that's why I do it. It looks pretty retarded, I agree, but it's my personal preference, and I find that it helps me. So if you guys have another way of warming up, feel free to leave a comment. But anyway, so this is just the spamming right now. And yeah, and I also wanted to note that recording while playing makes my computer really laggy because I don't have a great computer. So I might be a little bit slow, and my mouse clicks might be a little bit inaccurate just because of the choppiness of it. So right now I'm gonna do a standard. My opener is always a standard 1-1-1, and so I'm gonna be laying down my 9 supply depot, 12 barracks, and then 13 refinery. And so I'm moving. I have my command center at 4, my scouting SCV at 1, and my SCV that is building the barracks at 2. And so right after the supply depot is there, I move my SCV into position to build the barracks, so it doesn't have to move at all. Then right here, I see that it's gone. Click on the minimap, go to the next spot, just forget about it. Then right when I get 75 right here, I'll start spamming the refinery, and then go back. And right now, I'm basically transitioning between 1-1, 2-2, and 4-4. And this just lets me keep track of really quickly of what's being built, because I always want to be producing SCVs, and I always want to be producing Marines right when that barracks is finished. And I went into this game with the mentality of the 1-on-1 Destiny Cloud Fist build, popularized by Husky. And so what I usually like to do is build 4 Marines, get a reactor, then get a factory with siege tanks and Raven Banshee. And so his base is the last place I scout, and then at this point, I think I get a supply depot at 17, and then I get a orbital command at 18 while still producing Marines. Or is it? I think I might get an orbital command at 17 too. No, yeah, I'm building my supply depot at 17, and then I should be canceling that. Yep, I'm getting my orbital command right when I have 18. And I scout that and notice that he actually put down a 14 Nexus, which is just completely ridiculous. So that's one indication that he's not playing serious this game. And so I'm going to be changing up my build a little bit instead of the 1-on-1, which comes at around 9 to 10 minutes. I'm going to go for a 3 racks Marine with 1 tech lab, or 2 tech labs and 1 reactor, and this will allow me to push a little bit sooner with stim and take advantage of the fact that he won't have a lot of units at that point. And as you can see, I actually canceled a ton of SCVs that I queued up, because during this game, I'm just always pressing 4S, 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 and so you really, I play games sometimes and I don't even realize I'm spamming 4S, 4S, 4S. And I also notice that if you're doing a 3 racks Marine, you can stay off 1 gas for quite a bit. And so I'm hiding my tech in the back with the 2 barracks, because usually every game I practice against him, I basically just go all 1-on-1. And so I'm going to hide my 2 barracks in the back, and this is just going to make it harder for him to expect what's going on. So I'm still doing a little bit more scouting, and my reactor is almost done, putting down a supply depot at the corner of my base to see if he's got void rays coming in anytime soon. And then my tech lab comes down immediately. So I got another SCV there, gonna put it at the Zalnaka tower close to where I am, and just gonna be continually scouting with the SCV, trying to do as much, get as much information as possible. And right there, I'm building my barracks, and there's a epic fail rally point. And what I'm doing right here actually is I'm going to put all my barracks on 5, and then I'm going to rally away from my choke, because then if they just send up a probe, they can't tell what my units are, because if he sees a siege tank, it basically confirms the Destiny Cloudfist build. But if he sees a Marauder, then he knows that I've deviated from the build, and he should expect something different. So I don't want him to know that. I want him to continue doing what he's doing, expecting something different, and hopefully I can capitalize on that. And as you can see, my scouting SCV is building a barracks right now, and I'm going to be using that barracks just to do a little bit of scouting. And so a mule can get 270 minerals during its time, and a barracks only costs 150. So basically, a mule gets you 270 minerals earlier, but a barracks is only 150, so that's why I like to scout with the barracks instead of a scan. And also, you can scout the entire base usually when you have a barracks floating in, and it looks funny as well. So, as you can see, my macro is not the best. I had 300 minerals at one point. Right now, researching stim and concussive, and I'm just basically going to be pushing out with stim and or concussive, putting down a supply drop. Just because I don't want to be supply lack, especially in the phase where I'm just building up units as much as I can, as fast as I can. And so still working off one gas, as I've said, 2 tech lab, one reactor, 3 barracks. Doesn't really require two gases right now because I'm not really teching that hard. I should be getting my gas once I decide to tech. And so I'm going to be moving on right now. And keep in mind that I recorded only 2 games, and the first one he destroyed me, and it wasn't very interesting. And I didn't move that fast. I was on at like 90, and so hopefully this is going to be a little bit more closer to 100. And so yeah, my minimum goal for all my games is try to get 100 because you really do need 100 in my opinion. Just because you can't multitask with less than that, and I really like to micromanage my units. So right now I'm just moving out with my infantry army, and he shouldn't really have that much just because he expanded so quickly, and I'm expanding right now. And yep, there it is. He really doesn't have that much, so I stim in. Probably a little bit early stim. Going to be cutting those zelts a little bit. There you go. All you do is right-click back, press S, right-click back, press S. He's trying to do a little bit kiting with his stalkers, and then I'm going to be going for that stalker there, and that basically should be game just because he didn't scout my base and he was unprepared for it. From my experience, whenever he fast expands, he doesn't get a robo. He just gets 8 warp gates. And doing a little bit of scan to see what he has, and I probably should have just moved up right there considering he had nothing. So I'm going to take out his Nexus and move back in. And taking out the 2 pylons of the Nexus is a huge supply drop for him. So I was trying to supply lock him, but also at the same time capitalize on killing a Nexus, because killing a Nexus always a good thing. He really has nothing right now. An Immortal and Stalker are going to be cutting a little bit, moving past shooting, and then hit the 3 zealots warped in. Really won't be able to do much against my MM army. And he says all in and leaves. So this wasn't a very serious